Hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Nika, your English teacher, and in this episode, we will talk about some healthy habits that can make a positive difference in your life and improve its quality. First of all, I want to mention that living a healthy lifestyle is really popular nowadays. I remember that when I was younger, it was very cool to smoke, drink alcohol, and eat unhealthy food like fast food. But now, everywhere you look on social media, on TV, radio, people are talking about healthy habits. And it seems like people have become more conscious now. They value their health, the way their body looks and feels. They also value their mental well being. And it makes me happy. I can see that our society is changing in this area, and it's truly wonderful. There are actually many healthy habits we can adopt, but the thing is that we have a limited time in a day, and all of us are busy with work, family, commitments, and relationship, and there is not that much time left for self-care. That's why it's important for us to choose specific habits that work for us and focus on them. In this episode, I'll share some habits that I'm currently practicing, and these habits give me more energy and they help me get through the day. And I hope they will inspire and motivate you to adopt some of these habits if you haven't done it yet. So let's get started. Habit number 1 is drink enough water. I can't imagine the discussion about healthy lifestyle without mentioning this point. Drink enough water. Usually, as soon as I wake up, I immediately go to the bathroom, I wash my face, brush my teeth, and then I drink a glass of warm water. I'm used to doing it, so I can't imagine my day in general without this habit. I remember that in the past, I used to drink cold water from a filter, but a couple of weeks ago, when I was in Belarus, I visited a doctor and she told me about the benefits of drinking warm or like almost hot water. I'm not a doctor and I cannot repeat it the way she has explained it to me. But from what I recall, hot water, it can improve your digestion, it can speed up your metabolism, and it may help the body to get rid of toxins. So that's why now, every time I wake up, before going to the bathroom, I turn on the kettle. And by the time I finish my self-care routine in the bathroom, the water is already boiled and it's ready for me to drink. Also, some people say that you can add a lemon to the glass of water, or you may take a spoon of honey. It's very healthy. But personally, I'm not used to doing it. In general, I feel that my body doesn't want to consume sugar right after waking up, so I skip this step. However, if you believe in power of honey and you enjoy having it in the morning, you can easily do so. Speaking of drinking habits, I always keep a glass of water on my table. Usually when I have classes with my students, I tend to drink a lot just because I talk a lot and it makes me feel thirsty and my mouth gets dry. So yeah, that's why a glass of water is always on my table. If you know that you often forget to drink enough water throughout the day, a helpful tip to you in this case is to keep a glass of water on your desk. So this simple action increases likelihood that you will remember to drink water. Tip number 2 is eating brightly colored fruits and greens on daily basis. Actually, food is what gives us energy and helps our bodies stay active throughout the day. Personally, I make sure to have 3 good and proper meals a day. So I always have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I remember that in the past, I used to worry a lot about how much I eat, whether I eat enough or not. And then I discovered and started following the rule of a healthy plate. So this rule of a healthy plate means that 50% of your plate you must fill with fruit and vegetables. And the other 50% you fill with proteins and carbs. The examples of proteins include chicken, fish, eggs, beans, tofu, or Greek yogurt. So these foods, like proteins, they help our muscles and body tissues stay strong and healthy. Now let's talk about carbs. Some people think that carbs are bad for our bodies because if we eat carbs, we can become fat and gain weight. But it's not entirely true. So carbs usually give our bodies fuel that our body needs to function properly and keep us energized throughout the day. So good sources of carbs include brown rice or whole wheat bread, as well as potatoes. Speaking of a healthy plate, I also know that it's important to follow the rule of a rainbow. It means that it's good for your body if you have products of different colors on your plate. For example, if you are having vegetables, you need to include vegetables of different colors. For example, purple, red, green, yellow, orange, and so on. And the more colors you have on your plate, it means that you have more vitamins and minerals. So if you want to stay healthy and energetic, make sure in this case that you eat properly and you have enough fruit and vegetables in your daily diet. Tip number 3, I called limit your screen time. I believe that nowadays all of us are addicted to our phones. We constantly check our phones, staying online all the time because we are afraid of missing out on news or text messages. And we can simply not imagine a day without a phone. And I'm just like that too. And it happens mostly because all my work is done online. I post content on social media to develop my personal brand. I communicate with students through messaging apps. And at one point, I realized that my screen time was about 10 hours a day, like crazy. I was literally falling asleep with my phone and waking up with my phone. And I realized that this behavior was not healthy. It was negatively affecting my mental well being. And I noticed that I became more stressed. I became more anxious and more irritable. And I started noticing that I would always compare my life and my achievements with the achievements of other people. And I would tell myself that I wasn't doing enough or earning enough, and the quality of my body was not good enough. And it seemed like everyone else had more bright and exciting life than me. In addition to that, after scrolling my phone for some time before going to sleep, I noticed that I had insomnia, so I couldn't fall asleep. And I had millions of thoughts in my head that were just spinning around. And at that moment, I realized that it was time to take actions. It was time to change something. First of all, I implemented the rule of not touching my phone for 1 hour after waking up and 1 hour before going to sleep. And when I did that, I felt that I had nothing to do in the evening without a phone. And I started looking consciously, looking for some activities that I could do without a phone. And, I discovered the joy of reading. So, for the past 5 months, I've been reading a book before bedtime, before falling asleep. And thanks to this new habit, I've already finished 4 Harry Potter books and I'm currently reading the fifth one. Can you just imagine? I decided to put my phone aside for just 1 hour in the evening, and I was able to find time and opportunity to read, even though I had thought that I had no time for reading in my life. Now, when I've gotten used to this habit, I started a new one. So, on the weekends, when I go for a walk with my husband or I go anywhere outside with my husband, I leave my phone at home. At first, it felt really strange. It felt so inconvenient when you don't have your phone. Yeah, I was worried a lot about missing messages and I would constantly search for the phone in my bag. But as the time passed, it became easier. Now I can strongly recommend you leaving your phone at home at least for a couple of hours once in a while. It really helps to recharge and feel refreshed. Just in this case, make sure that you let your parents or your loved ones know about your plan beforehand so they don't get worried if they can't reach you. Tip number 4 is do sports. I'm a huge fan of sports and I like it for several reasons. Firstly, it helps me stay organized because I plan my workouts in advance and I add them to my schedule, which helps me stay on track. Secondly, when I do sports, I feel more self-confident and I feel more attractive. I feel better about my body. I like the quality of my body more. I like the reflection in the mirror. I also eat more properly when I train. I don't overeat, and in general, I feel more energetic. Thirdly, sports help me release stress and let go negative emotions. During workouts, I can clear my mind, I can relax, and afterwards I feel refreshed. It's like a form of therapy for me. Depending on the season, I choose different sport activities. For example, in summer, I enjoy jogging, rollerblading, and cycling. In winter, I prefer going to the gym or doing exercises at home. Yeah, actually, I really like exercising at home because you don't have to leave the house when it's cold outside, and your brain doesn't have a chance to create additional excuses to avoid doing sports. That's why I find it really enjoyable to turn on exercise videos on YouTube, put on my trainers, and engage in physical activity at home. Recently, I started attending dance classes, which have been beneficial in multiple ways. These classes help me connect with my body and improve my flexibility and femininity. And it's also a sort of meditation for me because during 1.5 hours, I completely switch off my mind. I focus only on movements that I need to repeat. And as the result, after the class, I feel relieved because I don't have any negative or random thoughts in my head. I just experience the sense of relief and satisfaction. This spring, I didn't know what to give to my husband for his birthday, and I bought a membership to a swimming pool with saunas. I thought that it would be a great opportunity for us to relax and spend time together. But the point was that we weren't used to going to saunas often. And when we first tried it, we felt a bit sick and nauseous after being in sauna for about just 10 minutes. And at first it felt really strange, but after some time we a bit got used to it and it got better. We got used to going to swimming pool every week. But anyway, I can say that saunas and swimming pool are our favorite activities to unwind. For me, this whole process of changing clothes, showering, drying your hair, it's so complicated and it's so annoying. And I always worry about getting sick afterwards if I don't dry my hair properly. So it's really hard for me to fully relax in the swimming pool. And the point I want to make sure that there are a lot of different sports and a lot of different activities that you can try. And if you don't like one particular activity, it doesn't mean that you don't like sports at all. Maybe you just need to explore other options until you find something that you will enjoy doing. But no matter what, I believe that it's important to include physical activity in our lives if we want to live longer and have more energy. Tip number 5 is take a break. I think I'm writing this reminder, I would say, mainly for myself because sometimes I can work for long hours without any breaks. And I can sit at my desk for hours and hours and hours. And it makes me feel very tired at the end of the day. I start having problems with my eyes, my back hurts, I get headaches. And it's crazy that I know about this problem. I'm aware of it, that I forget to take breaks, but I still keep making the same mistake. If you are like me, you tend to work a lot without breaks, I suggest you setting up reminders or using an alarm to make sure you have short breaks. Try to take a break at least every 30 minutes. Okay, if it's too often for you, then try to keep it at least every hour. And during these breaks, you can stand up, you can stretch, do some exercises, or simply take a moment to look out of the window and relax your eyes. Speaking of breaks, I know that some of you might worry that taking breaks wastes your time and reduces your productivity, but actually it's not true. So even if you just take a 5-minute break every hour, you will benefit from it because taking breaks gives us clearer mind. It helps us stay productive for longer hours and it allows us to generate more ideas and find better solutions. If you have a chance to go outside from your office or home, if you work remotely, in this case, try to take a short 10-minute walk during the day. You will be surprised to see how even a quick walk can make you feel better overall and improve your mood. But if you find it very difficult and hard to take breaks during the day, you may consider going for a walk after you finish working. Just take a moment to look at people and nature. Try to pay attention what's happening outside. Because I know from my own experience that after spending 7, 8, 9 hours in front of a screen, I can feel frustrated and lost. So a short walk can definitely help you feel more refreshed and happier. So that's all for today. Those were the habits I wanted to share with you. And I hope I motivated you a bit to try and adopt some of these healthy habits. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. please remember to share it with your friends who are also learning English right now. And I would really appreciate if you could send me a message on Instagram with your feedback and comments about this podcast. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking with me. Don't forget to follow and stay tuned for my upcoming episodes. See you next time and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.